Affinity extra, be extra.
Let's get ready to.
Even with a break, it's like no. You didn't even give me no warning as well. We need to get the official one on to do it. So that's when you know that's the level that we should be working
You know what?
at.
We could get AI to do it at this rate, isn't it?
You said with AI doing everything at the minute,
Bro. Yeah, I don't know. Yo, if anybody needs to check out Interview with Me, Mello, because Melo's bringing out music that's AI producing it.
But the music's all right. I've heard a couple
Yeah,
of the tracks.
no.
I'm like, I might be tempted to do some of my own. Like, let's go for it.
Confession.
But you know what though? Like we said, I think AI is kind of like the new gold mine, man. Like you gotta learn how to use it because that's not going nowhere for now.
Yeah.
It's making monies, man.
Christians are scared of it, you know, bro.
Christians.
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of Christians don't like it.
A lot of Christians have been using it. There's a fact that came out recently that people above 31, 31, very specifics with their number, are regularly using AI tools in their work. People in their 40s plus use it regularly for work, just as much as their emails. Like AI is their new.
Okay, you know what I don't like about AI is people talking to it like it's them and the brethren and calling it names.
Yeah, I think that's a bit weird. I think that's weird. Those are the kind of people that will buy like robots and like mash up their house and
they treat it like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah. I find that weird.
Yeah.
I know
they get up.
people,
How you doing? How you doing today? Yeah, I mean AI.
And I don't like that.
Charlie.
I'll tell you what does annoy me though.
Go on.
Is grown people who are similar to our age.
Yeah.
Who will ask AI questions.
40s.
Yeah. Well, I'm 21.
Almost.
I identify as younger.
I identify as 21.
But yeah, they will talk to AI and try and get their perspective on conversations of issues that really they should be talking to a human being about.
I remember a Christian guy asked AI which religion is true, Islam or Christianity.
Yeah.
And I read, it came out with Christianity and I thought, well, you do that, it's like all the Christians getting gas and sharing it. You know what I'm saying? But then when the AI says something else, don't use AI. I'm thinking,
because you don't do your homework and your research. That's why. AI, I mean, there's been different things. I mean, I know AI got in trouble for allegedly. I'm going to use the words allegedly.
Go
on. Of assisted people who have committed suicide. That's because AI don't tell you no. Too tough.
That's not empathy.
Well, I think there was a young person that asked AI how the best way to kill themselves, and it gave them ideas, and then they killed themselves. And I was on the fence of, well, is that AI's fault or was that AI doing what it was supposed to do? Which he asked the question. I don't want to sound insensitive, but they asked the question and AI came with a result. Like, it's not going to sit down there and say, I don't think we should have this conversation, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and now I know they've changed ChatGPT now anyway, where I think they've edited it now so it can't give medical advice, and it can't give something else. So medical advice is being meant to be stopped, and something else is meant to be stopped because people are consulting. I shouldn't even laugh. People are consulting their AI rather than their doctor about issues. This is how you probably get a Trump. You know what I mean? Like you get full people like that. I tell you, who didn't consult AI?
Yeah.
Diddy probably should have consulted AI, actually. That's a good little segue into my area there. But Diddy probably should have.
Yeah, sorry, Blue took him far south. Far south, and you have supported you supported a program for the destruction of a creative black brother.
Yeah.
Go on,
absolutely, absolutely. You know what it is? I mean,
go.
You got to. I know some people have been cussing it, saying, it's bringing down the black man and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But and then I know they're going to say this is allegations, but if the allegation's true and he has done what people are pointing the finger at him to say he has done, then I don't think that is bringing down a black person. I think it's bringing awareness to the people that actually there are some mad corrupted people out there. And you know what? Let's be honest. We grew up in the 90s era of hip hop when music made sense, particularly secular music. And And we were blessed. I don't know if we can use the word blessed, but we had different artists that were under certain labels that we could listen to and enjoy. So, I remember hearing back then of certain shenanigans, behaviors, and things about these artists. So, R. Kelly was never a big shock. Like, although we was never in that person's presence, we heard murmurings, we heard stories about the type of lifestyle, the kind of things he did. And when people were like, okay, cool, it's like a conspiracy theory, but he's probably doing it. We heard stuff about Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? We heard stuff about Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, Jodeci, Mary J. So there's always certain things about different artists that you heard where you're like, oh, okay, cool. So when it comes to light, none of us are really shocked when you're like, rah, that's kind of mad still. Like, we knew that P. Diddy, Puff, or whatever name he wants to go by, was living a shady life. Interestingly, this is where, this is when Blue starts doing this thing now. Interestingly though, obviously for years he's got away with stuff. If you watch the documentary, you'd be astounded how much time this guy went to court. He went to court so much times for certain things. He should have brought his own court. He went to court for so many things, but on this occasion he thought he was going to get away with it. Which is how the documentary's come about. Okay, because he was filming this for his own kind of like, what was he? He's filming it up for his own documentary he was going to do for himself because he thought he was going to get away with it.
Okay.
And that's how the footage.
That's how you got all the footage.
That's how the footage is. He filmed himself because he thought, when this is done, I'm going to bring the footage out and show the people, like, yeah, I'm a good guy.
Were you shocked at anything that happened with? Was it a case of, listen, I always say to people this, I never forget I was on a bus back in the day when I had my Panasonic Walkman.
Wow, he said Walkman.
You know what I mean? Walkman.
That shows his age.
You know what I'm saying? And I had my XBS on extra XBS, yeah. You know what I mean? And XBS in my headphones, Panasonic headphones.
That was like bass back then, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case people looking at XBS probably thinks like a symptom that you need some anti-inflammatory.
And I remember I flipped the tape over and I was listening to the radio. I think it was Choice at them days or whatever.
Wow,
Yeah. And they were talking about this new star coming through, this new producer coming through, Sean Puffy Combs. Puff Daddy, yeah. And I said to myself, what man?
Yeah.
Would call himself Puff Daddy?
A man that likes freak artists.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was, there's a red flag for the day, the man. But the thing is, we just, when he drops his tune, you're thinking, it's all right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the Benjis, and you don't realize. And then he's there working with Biggie and all them things there, and he like going, yeah, man, Puff Daddy. And you're thinking, when you sit there back and look back, every time you have initial thinking, that's dodgy when it comes to Puff. You were right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every time when you see Tupac die, when you see Biggie die, when you see all these guys, I don't know, people got their allegedly, and you're thinking, well, who's benefiting out of all this? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm hearing it, I'm thinking, dudes, you don't need a film to come to any conclusion with Diddy, You know
what though? It brings some other stuff where there was some stuff that we already knew, but there's some stuff that I've watched where I was like, rah, I wasn't aware of that one. Like,
okay,
I didn't realize before he really blew up and before he brought out the bad boy kind of like business.
Yeah,
there was a time where he did a party and 9 people died. This is way before he became like Puff Daddy, stuff like that.
Died from what?
He put a party on. They didn't put the right security in, the right limits and stuff. 9 people died by being trampled. Yeah, I spoiled it for you if you're going to watch it, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, spoiled. Okay.
So
but do you agree, Damon Dash, who is if people don't know, he's like the boss man of the Wayne Brothers, isn't it?
Damon Dash?
Yeah.
Of the Wayne Brothers?
Yeah.
No.
Who's the boss man?
He's the boss man of his nemesis to Jay-Z, isn't he?
Jay-Z, Damon Dash, yeah.
So
Damon Dash was, I'm sure Damon Dash, positive. Damon Dash got on the onto the podcast. You know what? And he said, we cannot be taken out because he ain't done much dealings with Puff, but he's not going to go publicly. Why is a black man going onto, this is his word, a white platform, white-owned platform, to take out another brother? He said we shouldn't be doing that. That's his viewpoint.
But you know what, though, and this is my thing then.
So do you feel? So So, but we couldn't do that against. I'm not saying Donald Trump, but you know what I mean. He's primary president. You can't do certain things with the presidents like Obama and Trump, and you can say what you want, but you can't touch them. Don't touch them.
You know what? I think Damon Dash is he trolls. It crosses people for being trolls. He's one of the biggest trolls himself. You know what I mean? Like I think he makes it. First of all, his cousin's cray cray. I'm not to use that word, am I?
Okay,
his cousin Stacey Dash. You know,
Stacey, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like, everyone was like, "Oh, she's so nice," and now she's doing some stuff where you're like, sister." She's like the black Britney Spears at the minute. She's doing some stuff where you're like, nah, mate. Damon should be talking to his cousin rather than cussing about 50. But I think you know what? As much as you say, bringing down another black person, I think this black person brought themselves down. Also, in industry, they're aware of certain behaviors and certain things that are happening. This guy was abusing women. Let's start with that one. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stories and evidence there of women that he abused, things that he done to women. And, if we're going to be cussing about bringing down people, then let's talk about the fact that he's hurt countless women, messed them up, and then was continued to grow in industry, making money of people like Dash, Jay-Z, and all them people who were aware and said nothing. So as much as 50 Cent might be a troll and bringing down a black person, this sounds really cruel what I'm going to say, but I stand by it. It's not like he's brought down a black person who was doing amazing for our society. Like all of Diddy artists have come out and complained about something that Diddy's done. But
so, okay, take the Diddy scenario out. The principle, is it right to
bring down a black man on a white platform?
And it's not to say that, because I do complain about what we're doing online. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be real, we talked about, yes, true, innit? We complain. But but this platform is black owned. Yeah. So he's saying, why are we doing it on?
But I think whatever platform you're doing it, you're still doing it.
Yeah.
And I mean, white platforms.
What is wrong, man? You know what I'm saying? And we need to deal with our stuff. We need to take them to our courts.
And you know what? There's more white platforms because there's not a lot of black platforms where we support our own. Like, let's be honest with you. I think as black people, we're not as great as we should be at supporting our own. For example, this is going to be a little bit harsh to say, but it's true. Look at that time back in the day where there was issues of Asian shops that were selling our products and there was alleged that they'd done something to a young black girl. Everyone was like, let's boycott it, we ain't going back. And then the shops are still open. You're still buying your weave, our hair products, and you know what I mean? We boycotted.
The shops at the time that were black owned, like Juliet, you weren't buying from. You weren't
prepared.
Buying,
it was too expensive.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't prepared to spend the extra to keep our people. You could say, all you want. You know what I'm saying? You weren't prepared to invest into your own.
Yeah. And that's why you got places like Turtle Bay that are happy to open and do black products, because you want the cheap cocktails and the Temu version of Aki rice and peas and dumpling.
That was just dry chicken out when there was dry chicken and once alone, man. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what though? It brings a good question, and I think we touched on it earlier as well, is in terms of our identity as black people, a clear division. And when I say division, I'm talking about Caribbean and African, those from like African continents. So for example, we know that we've had a massive hit in Jamaica with the floods and stuff like that, and there's been so many different events going on around raising money to kind of send over to Jamaica to kind of build the aid back again. There's been issues in Africa for years. I ain't seen nobody put raise money to kind of like help.
Because there is people of Caribbean descent who recognizes and does stuff for Africa. So I want to hail up them people, not afraid to say they're African. And I think in Britain itself, and I will be forceful to say this, is that you got African people uncomfortable with Jamaicans and West Indians calling themselves African, and you got West Indians that are uncomfortable with saying that they're African. We are part of the African diaspora. That's the reality. And I feel that growing up, there was a culture that the lowest form of human being, let's be real, is black and African. Growing up. And it might seem really, people go, oh, Roger, listen, end of the day still, I've said it before on his platform, I'm not naming it out, but I was in a black-led church, in a black room, in a Sunday school class, led by a lovely lady who was teaching us, who said to us, slavery did us a favor.
Oh wow. What church is this?
The church. Yo, everybody who knows, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was about to say the
Put in the comments which church was it. and the teacher's name.
And the church was, and the thing is, it's a narrative to feel that Africa is uncivilized, yeah? You know what I'm saying? And it has done, you know what I mean, nothing. And this is the narrative. That's why someone like Donald Trump can be derogative, you know what I'm saying, about African people, because he just sees us as uncivilized people, because that's the way he's been taught. So if we like West Indians, because I went to Africa when I was in 2001, went to Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been to St. Kitts and I went to Jamaica before that. And I felt more at home in as a black man, a light-skinned black man, in them spaces. I felt like I was more loved than in Jamaica and St. Kitts.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Did Jamaica see like calling?
English, innit? It's like Jamaica's like my family, my core family is great, you know what I'm saying? But you know when I walked into Nigeria, I felt like, yo, Bedrin, I'm back home. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was home. And bear in mind, back then, I wasn't even into. I didn't have all these black things. People see me now. I weren't no black Pan-African back then, you know what I mean? I'm saying, you know, I went on the black tick, yo. I've just faced racism. Yeah, I'm saying I faced the racism as a youth because I went to a white school and I went to a black church. Yeah, and when I went to uni, and you get told Somalians I went to uni with a Somalian, meaning was in the same engineering block.
Yeah,
and we got on. We linked each other up in the first year. I looked at him like, bro. I almost said, so according to Feed the World, you know that Feed the World. According to man's got flyers and everything over there. It's a bedroom. That's the cynical car now. Don't watch that. It's not like this. So like for me, the problem is the negative connotation. People thinking, Roger, you, it's not fair. We all no. The negative connotation of African people is there, still entwined within Afro-Caribbeans, and Africans still see us as uneducated, drug dealing criminals. You know what I'm saying? Because because end of the day, still, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying what you find the elders that they've unfortunately we've been educated to feel that, you know what I mean. You know, you know what I'm saying? You know, we've both been educated by colonized systems, the colonized system. Yeah. So it's all about education, and it affects us as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It affects us. So for me, you know, I think we're coming to a season when people get over it that, we are of African descent. But I know if you want me to play that video that I showed you earlier. Yeah, I think we should actually. Yeah, I'm saying, because this guy got me mad.
So Roger's very upset because there's a guy who...
he's meant to represent him.
Well, he's meant to represent Jamaica, isn't it?
Yeah, man. He's talking to African girls, isn't it?
But he's talking from a perspective. His perspective, we have to share just in case, you know, there's some backlash. Where this is his viewpoint of... his
uneducated viewpoint.
What he thinks Jamaicans and Africans... Is it saying Jamaicans and Africans are about? Really? He's trying to say, like, this is what... Because I hear in one point by him saying, you know, there were black people in Jamaica before the slave trade and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, he's just chatting like he's watched one YouTube video for 30 seconds. He's brought it all together. But let me just let him chat.
Ain't Jamaicans Nigerians?
No.
Just saying here, African people, Nigerians, didn't you realize that when the slavery was going on, there was no Nigeria? Nigeria is a construct that's been created by the colonizer, the UK, is constructed of numerous tribes who were forced together because it made it easier for their books. So can you stop being silly when you call it, because anything it's about tribes?
So you're saying that Nigeria is not a real state or place?
It's a construct that's been created by this is the problems where there's Fulani in that country, there's Yoruba, there's Igbo, there's Hausa, there's so many different tribes that were living doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That had their own function. Just like in India, you had the two different issues. Like there was no Pakistan, there was a nation there still, and England somehow balls up the whole thing because their focal point is how do we make money. So when you say, oh, people, Jamaican, Nigerians or Ghanaian, there was no Nigeria, Ghanaian. It was just, let's get a port and drag a bag of slaves off this corner. It's called this, that coast was not called the Gold Coast. It's called the Slave Coast.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But clearly they want to change it so it doesn't have that negative connotation though, innit?
Yeah, you want to say Slave Coast, but at the end of the day still, you can't just pinpoint and say, it just annoys me. You know what I'm saying? It annoys me. It annoys me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so uneducated, that start point where it's, Nigeria. No. It could be Benin.
So what should they call it then?
For me, West Africa is where majority of the slaves were taken from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's simply West Africa. And it goes even into the inner lands of Congo. They got into Congo, brought the people to the end. You know what I mean? It's been a big trade. They farmed black people out to that area, bro. Proper. And it got to the stage that they even got all the way around to Mogadishu, over side, bro, to Kenya, you know what I mean? And come all the way around and brought slaves over, bro.
But isn't it fair to say, like, slavery?
Yeah.
Black people are also involved in that whole bringing people.
Bro, that's why I say to my Nigerian friends, it's cool. Don't get twisted, man. I said, how were the guns that they gave you that never worked? You know what I mean? Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Was it really worth it?
Yeah.
Because when you got rid of us, you never had the power to stop when they started coming in and taking over your land. You know what I mean? So anyway, so just say Nigerians, it does annoy me when you anyway. So forgive me. Anyway, sorry, guys.
You get real upset about this stuff.
Yeah, cool.
No, but they're saying that.
That's what they're saying.
They're saying that
most of us is like
they're saying there's Jamaicans in Nigeria.
Most of us are Ghanaian.
No, I'm Nigerian.
Yeah,
So when I done
Nigerians
my,
right
when I done my
opposite.
ancestry history, so the first, speaking about Jamaica, because a lot of Africans love this argument, and as
I
a
hate when Caribbeans say Africans. Something about that grinds my gears.
why?
Because Africa's just so big, but
It's a continent.
I was just so used to school.
Okay,
here,
a lot of West
Africans and
Africans. A lot of West Africans.
That's better.
A lot of West Africans have this concept because slaves were taken from West Africa and dropped in the Caribbean. One must understand, there were people there first.
Yeah.
There were people there first. Even on the Jamaican coat of arms, there are Indians there. And people be like, oh, so where did the Indians come from? This is the West Indies. This is the West Indies. This is West India.
Yeah,
like, this is the West Indies.
It's her research for me.
Yeah.
It's true.
The same people that they called the Red Indians in America, like those kind of people were in the Caribbean first.
You talk about the natives.
The natives, yes.
Yeah.
And the natives were...
But he's failing every sort of politically correct phrase you should use. Guys, let me emphasize the reason why they needed to get African people, because the natives got wiped out because of disease and pestilence. So there were very few left, and they've got taken out on a take over the countries, and there were no good of slaves. They needed to get the optimum physical person to go out there, and unfortunately African period people were the perfect people to bring over there, to be strong enough and can take all the garbage diseases and be mistreated and get over there. So end of the day, so and when they were, trust me, they got wiped out, and they weren't called they weren't not Indians. You know what I'm saying? These natives people, just because, you know what I mean. But it just annoys me. You know what I mean? And when the man said the word Red Indian, like, bro, like, why are you having these conversations if you haven't got clued up, bro? You might as well say, as coloured people. You might as well start talking like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro,
the Red Indians.
Bro,
I prefer the Green Indians.
Bro, I ain't heard that from the cowboy and India. Yo, bro, like
Cowboy and Indians from ages ago.
India is miles away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's ignorance why it's called West Indies.
But is he saying that it's Indian people that were like, I don't think he said that they were in Jamaica though. He's saying like from American countries.
Bro, he said the Indians were, that's why it's called West Indies. There was no India. Bro, it's called, get the geography out, bro. Yeah. They're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not. Because the Aborigine looks like African doesn't mean that he's African. No, you can't call Aborigine African. He's got the traits. You know what I'm saying, bro? But he's not African. Someone from Papua New Guinea. They're in Asia, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, this is what I'm saying to you.
Like
uneducated conversations by uneducated. Oh, bro.
You know, just twice I've heard this, and Roger hasn't gotten past this part at all.
Indians.
You don't want to be African.
There was the Taino. There was the Arawak. There was the Arawak Indians. There was the Caribs. There was different tribes of Indians on different islands doing different things. Do you get what I'm saying? Then you've dropped in the slaves in there as well. Do you get what I'm saying? On top of that,
The man just missed out the whole fact that man made money from sugar.
Well, the sugar factories.
So, So it was nothing to do. You just dropped. No. They weren't dropped there. They were used to make plantation and to cover a quarter of the world's GDP was being made from sugar on them islands, if not up to half the GDP of the world, bro, was coming out the West Indies.
Yeah.
And the reason why you can do that is because of free labor of African people. After you already wiped out the natives. There's no, I've been to St. Kitts. There's nobody left, mate. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got wiped out before we got there. Because unfortunately, small islands is wiped out nations, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway,
after World War II, they moved Germans over there. Do you get what I'm saying? They moved Scottish people so that the people that were involved in slavery stayed there. They didn't just drop them there. It weren't just an island full of black people and we're gone. Someone had to govern that. Them man are fucking slaves as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So everyone's mixing.
So he's saying the German people are slaves there.
I heard that and I was like,
bro.
And the Irish. But then there was issues where Irish and black people, slaves were together.
Yeah, but I hear what they say. There is indentured workers that were mistreated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they were still different to slaves. Yeah.
Okay. I take that.
Yeah, because they were treated bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these people, they stopped slavery, but then they brought a load of Chinese and Indians into the Caribbean to work to carry on the work and mistreated them and treated them badly. You know what I'm saying?
Like Diddy.
But they still ended up in a better place within a generation than in 4 or 5 generations of black people.
But I think they've got a better community. That's probably why.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, they never had the identity stripped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that.
We had a targeted stripped. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying any journey is good. Yeah. Both of them were terrible journeys. Yeah. Both were mistreated. But there was a next level of cleansing that happened with us, man. That was just you know what I'm saying? But both are out of order and made a bunch of Europeans very rich.
Yeah, completely. It was all about the money.
Yeah.
And it was always going to be about the money.
Yeah. So anyway, but
is there any more on this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, like even the Jamaican coat of arms, it says out of many, one people, because we've got a massive mix of people. Like you could never look at my granddad, who is fully Jamaican, like going back generations, and say that you're African. My mum's dad was a fully Indian man. I used to call him Indian. He's like, you stupid, I'm not Indian, I'm Jamaican. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. But remember, culturally, these lot are not identifying as Indian, but they were always there.
Okay, so
what's he trying to say? They don't identify as Indian, they're Jamaican.
Ultimately, what he's saying is that Jamaican is it's this idea where you're saying that Africans are Africans and Jamaicans are Jamaicans. We're two different people. We do different things and whatsoever, and we are where we are. Admittedly, somebody who's an American now who is white is not actually the true Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but we will call them American just to pleasure their soul. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, bro, I'll call you Jamaican just to pleasure your soul. But at the end of the day, so you're not a native of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're not the original people. You're not the indigenous people of that land. You know what I'm saying?
But there's not much places that you can still find indigenous people of that land anymore.
We're standing in one.
What, England?
Yeah.
What, you think we're indigenous of
No, not we.
Basing right there, like we
we're talking about we. But there's plenty of indigenous people in Europe. That's in there.
Not really. Well, England is dying out from indigenous people.
Bro, you've been in Birmingham too long. I'm going to take you out here. Listen. I'm going to take Blue on a trip outside.
I would say, I'm not being...
I'm going to take you on a trip, bro.
Listen, they were saying, I remember reading ages ago.
I'm going to take you over to Ashby Deli.
Where UK in itself, because it's become so multicultural in so many places, the generations before, like, you know, the older people, they're passing out. The young people now who were all white and stuff like that are interbreeding with like, can you say interbreeding? That sounds really bad. Intermarrying, into relationship. I just realized what I said. With so much other cultures that now they are having like children who are mixed or dual heritage of different kind of things.
Yeah.
So you're not massively getting a lot of families now. Like you couldn't go into an area of Birmingham now and almost see fully just white in Birmingham anyway. In the UK, there's probably spots, but I think in the West Midlands, you couldn't go to some areas now and just find a white person.
Okay, I'm finding.
Find the flags,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to
Roger's
find
on his research now.
I'm bringing out the facts out here still.
What facts have you got there? Because that doesn't even look 100% blue. It's even changing as we speak.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, why is it changing?
Because it's not 100%.
No, that's the thing. Right. Let me just make sure I don't go on the reformed page. Let me see.
Soon, Indigenous in the UK is going to be mixed dual heritage.
Okay, 81 in England. 9 white.
Changing.
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2020.
freaking it, man.
73% people white.
Yeah.
In 1981, it was 93%. In 2001, it was 87%. In 2011, it was 72%. 2021, it's 73%. That's telling you. And as we're looking at it at the moment, it's literally changing bit by bit by a big margin. We had you go from 90% to almost like 20% drop straight away.
Hey,
So by the time our children have families.
Okay, cool. Right. So you see this, yeah? So 2001, let me see. You got other whites. Yeah, you got other whites.
So other whites, that's not even white. It says white in 1981.
Yeah.
And now it goes from white to other whites.
You got white British, and you got other whites.
Yeah, people that identify as white but not fully
Black
white.
the black has gone for 1.5 in 81. That's
to 1.9.
And we're only gone up to 4.5, 4.2 in England.
And the Asians have gone up by 9.7%.
Yeah. They've gone from 3% to they've increased by fourfold.
Yeah.
And black has gone up by that much. Mix has grown.
So yeah, I told you.
Mixed were even on a Richter scale in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
In the 80s, nobody was mixed. You were black or white, and now like after that, everyone's over.
So it looks like there's been a natural rate of growing from a
change.
A change.
No Indigenous.
Yeah, I'm saying
because you've gone from 3 categories to like 10.
So basically, it's
you got 4 categories.
Okay, cool.
And now you've almost got 9.
But still,
told you, man. No, there's no Indigenous now in the UK.
I'm going to edit this part out.
You should put it up on the screen. But yeah.
But okay, but the thing is, it's still 75. There's still good population of the native.
At the moment, in 40 years.
Compared to North America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, compared to Americas, man. You know what I'm saying? You got more populations of everybody who got dashed there or everybody traveled there.
I agree.
Whatsoever. So, end of the day, so I hear what you're saying, but in terms of Native Americans, indigenous people of the lands, they've just been robbed of their land in Americas and Canada.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely robbed.
Yeah.
You know what, bro? You know, funny thing is, one of the youths played football with for years. He said to me, my guy Trevor, who's just driving there, he goes, you know what? I just went to a couple of videos on YouTube. And I went, English people, what white people did in America? That's nasty, you know what they did? Because he's never been told. Yeah, because the thing is, we're not taught history properly.
Yeah, of course.
So when you get older, you go, oh, you didn't discover America. You conquered America.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
So it's this reframing that you happen is why we have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's why me and you go back and forth on so many of these things.
Yeah.
It's why I grow my hair big and tufty and roughy and don't businessman. And wife look at me and go, why can't I colonize my hair? And I say, I'm refusing to colonize my hair. I'm gonna keep it afro still.
Keep it European.
Keep it European anyway, still, yeah. But yeah. But something came to light this week talking it with my cousin Godfrey from Nigeria. Because you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? I keep saying I'm definitely gonna do the DNA test because Lady T she doesn't want nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying that I'm related to her. She don't believe me.
My mum did a blood test. So she's initially born and raised from Grenada.
Yeah, man.
So big up to Grenadians. And she did a blood test.
I was going to say small island, but I'm half small island.
About to say, man, it's a small island, but strong island. And she found out that she was a high percentage. I can't remember what it was. Probably like in the 70%.
Nigeria?
Nigeria?
Yeah. And do you know why, guys? Do you know why?
Here
Do you
goes
have to
now,
go there, man? Do you have to go
excited
there? Right. So the slavery kind of moved across. You went out to people, you move across, and you end up in Nigeria. And because of especially with the smaller islands, because of how poorly black people were African people, slaves were treated, there was a high mortality rate.
Yeah.
So we had the freshest slaves, more fresher than America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we were so mistreated that when slavery kind of ended off for the British Empire was they kind of gone all the way across West and ended up in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And when it stopped, they stopped transporting people. What the Nigeria was basically called, there was an element called slave something anyway. So yeah, and end of the day still especially St. Kitts and all these small islands, they just needed them last minute, the last drop of slaves, fresh
to do the last bit of work.
Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? So.
See.
But
you know what, and it's something we talked about earlier as well, because some people might be like, Africa, Jamaicans and stuff like that. But remember, up until recently, like it wasn't fashionable or cool to be African. We've got a lot of young people now who are African coming through. A lot of families now who are African. But I know when I was growing up, particularly, when you went to a dance, church or anything like that, it was Jamaican, boop, 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 boop. No one did know Jamaican, I'm going to do that. But that's rude. But no one really pushed it. No one pushed an African narrative. Like you said, I think Africans were kind of seen as broke. Band-Aid was on, so we're showing like the swelling babies and the bellies and all the rest of that stuff, or the desert land and stuff. And yeah, that's not a true representation of Africa. I would say it's been in only the last 30 years, probably. Nah, probably a bit longer than that now. 35 years maybe, that you've had more growth of African communities within the UK. And grown. I didn't even know about Eritrean until the last 14 years.
But it's a new nation. That's why I probably don't know.
No,
yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. So I hear what you say, but it's all about when you speak to our London colleagues, because the African communities were already starting to mix years ago before us.
Yeah.
With the Jamaican communities, it was just a normal. Like up here now, this is I say to my friends who are Nigerian, like get on well with you know what I'm saying. Don't get twisted, bro. But I love my Nigerian brethren there. So yeah, they still need to make me some yam chips and chicken still. But
they should eat yam chicken and chips, you say?
Yeah, because they're yam chips. Forget jollof rice. Yam chips.
I'm not into jollof.
Bro,
sorry,
no. It doesn't work for me. But yam chips and chicken, yam chips, as big man, Southie potato, we do yam chips and chicken, bro. Yo, bro, you eat hard food and bro, fry that bad boy.
But they got good physique though, so clearly the food must work well.
We part.
Listen, I would say physique-wise, in terms of Jamaican and Africans, I'd say African people from African continents have a better physique than Jamaicans, Caribbean. I think so.
Who wins 100 meters?
I think athletic-wise.
We're genetically superior, bro.
We probably are, but I feel like people from Africa have probably got a stronger, superior.
West Indies are just, a couple million people in Jamaica can run off everybody. We just superior. I say we because me half. We
jump on. I'm on that 73% me. Wave the flag. No, I'm not.
This is why man can still play ball at the age of almost 50.
You know what's funny? Actually, I remember my sons.
Bantu tribe.
What they represent themselves as, like, are you English? Are you Caribbean?
No, that's your fault. What did you tell them? Did you tell them that they're not English?
No, I told them that they've got all heritage.
He's dribbling now.
You know what?
He said, boys, you're English. My dad told me that I was English and I support England.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, while he was supporting Brazil, while he was supporting West Indies. So my dad, but the joke is, I supported Brazil.
Yeah.
I supported the black man beating up the white man in boxing. You know when the black man faces in the boxing?
Oh yeah.
Any black man beat up with. It's just the culture we grew up in.
Yeah.
Cricket, you couldn't support England, bro. Cricket, bro. I didn't like cricket, but it was West Indies every single time over England. You know what I'm saying? Every single time. You know what I'm saying? And England, you never support England in football. In rugby, we supported Wales and the All Blacks. Yeah. We don't support England whatsoever.
I'm not doing English nothing. You know what?
Then you told your pitney that you're English, they're English in it. You told them.
I didn't tell them the English. I didn't tell them
black
not
pudding.
English.
You put them in black pudding and
we
beans,
never,
man.
no,
You know
don't
what I'm saying?
violate
Black
that.
pudding and
Never
beans,
black pudding
man.
in this house.
That's some white bread toast.
You know what it is? I told them that their nationality
christened them.
is that they're Jamaican, they're Grenadian,
You're confusing them.
and they've got English. Nah, you know what? Because they can own all of it. Like they can have a Jamaican passport, they can have a Grenadian passport, they've got a British passport.
They're part of the African
and I've said to them,
diaspora.
they ain't got African one yet. But I'm told that they're part of all these different societies. And I did it because they needed to understand that actually they
World
have
is
access
colourblind.
to all these
Well, it's
different
not.
colours, man. And you know what?
This is our problem, you know, bro. We don't take them, we don't prepare them for the real world.
You know what though? I mean, there's an argument to be had in terms of, and I know you'll get upset about this one, but it's an interesting one that I can have is how important is it now to identify as black in this society? Because you've got a lot of people who want to identify some different things. You've got black people, if you identify as a black person, it's more frustrating than anything because those who you want to support you don't support you. So then you're more frustrated, upset
I get
with that
that.
community. But then if you say, then if you say you're like, I'm British, therefore I've got access to the white British public, the Asian British public, those that have who come from other countries who kind of had the same identifications, then be like, well, we support you because of our interest, not because of our ethnicity and where we come from. So I feel like the issues of culture, is it our issue and our argument of our generation? Because these young Gen Zs and whatever kind of alphabet ones they give, they don't seem to care. Like, look how much young African girls or girls from West Africa and stuff like that, they were saying before that quite a lot of them, particularly young girls from like Ghana and stuff, are particularly going for white males. Because they don't want to be pushing for black African male man.
Yeah.
And they're fighting against the whole customs now. And don't come for me, go check it yourself. But they're fighting, a lot of them now, a lot of these Gen ones are fighting against the customs and stuff like that. Like I met a young African girl one time from Zim, and she was like, I don't even like African food. She was like, I don't like none of it. I was like, rah, you are the first person from an African continent that I ever heard push up their face to like African food. She's like, nah.
I think when you come to this country, you feel like you have to dash your culture away to succeed. There's that vibe too. So sometimes parents, through, again, religion at the same time, almost there's a cleansing of your culture to succeed in this country. To laugh at jokes that you should not laugh at. To blind, to fit in. And people go, how do you say that, Roger? Listen, when you go to a school and you're the only black person in the year, you know what I'm saying? Yo, to survive, bro.
Yeah,
to survive,
especially
bro.
that the numbers out on your side.
Bro, there's no two of you. You know what I'm saying? If there's two of you, trust me, it's a biblical flex, one can chase 100, but two can chase 1,000.
Not if you don't.
I never had a two, bro. I never had a two.
You can't chase 100,
bro. Listen, bro. Listen, man. I've been encircled. I've been beaten up. I've been abused. But also, I have had good friends. You know what I'm saying? As well, fantastic friends at school. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a case of just looking down. But what I am saying to people is that you can't lie with what's in the mirror. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In the mirror, whether you black, Asian, European, you can't lie in the mirror. If you can survive in this world, you cannot lie to yourself what you're going to face. So I'm saying to my sons that you love everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Love and treat everybody how they should be treated, but do not operate blind. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, the reason why we haven't succeeded, because through the lenses of our spaces, our religious spaces, having to take away to be colorblind has enabled us to realize to be ineffective, while our young black men are 10 times likely because of their color to get dealt with badly. So if you're blind, you're still pretending like that doesn't happen, but it's happening right now to this day.
But I hear that.
Yeah, go on.
I'm so on the fence with some of it.
Go on, yeah, go. I'm going to point out a vibe here.
And I think only because, you're right, we know statistically You know, in the UK particularly, and then again in the
No,
States
not particularly,
as well.
just right.
Yeah, black people, particularly black males, are, you know, the higher likelihood of being attacked by police and, you know, persecution and stuff like that. So yeah, there is that kind of narrative there. There's also the narrative there that there are a lot of black guys who bring the dramas on themselves. And as a result of that, it's kind of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, as a society, I think, as a society of black people, we want to see us be in a position of success and proud and achievement. The problem is we talk about it, but no one really talks about what that looks like. We don't talk about how that feels. Yeah. There's no plan for it. So at the moment, it just sounds very nice, like, you know, utopia. It would be amazing if we could. But then the reality of it is, in order for that to happen, there's a responsibility and action from everybody to change those, from a Caribbean and African perspective, to change and get involved. So, like, you know, when people talk about the Caribbean and Africa could be more wealthy and more successful than any kind of like Western world, and yet it's not, and it's because we don't trust each other. Yeah. So look at the moment, like everyone is dipping off to Dubai because it's tax free and finance is there and all the rest of it. But then you've got people from Dubai who ran their country in a way where it's successful and looks well, it looks nice and inviting. You got Jamaica, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful sense. It hasn't really been very supportive. So look at like with the hurricane we had recently. You know, people sending aid over there, and I get it at the moment because it's, you know, scary. People are worried and people are dying, but people are robbing each other's barrels. Then you got people robbing each other. Food prices are high, so actually you're just costing yourselves out. So therefore, in order to make ends meet or whatever, you're going to have to pull it high. They're going to have to expect tourism to go back over there and all the rest of it. Whereas, you know, with people putting on charity events to try and help them to get back to start up. But this time next year, how much charity events are we going to be doing? How much events are we going to do to support and to keep that country in a great place? You know what I mean? Like, why can't Africa be like Dubai in terms of tax-free, healthcare and blah, blah, blah? So why we all, so much, I've seen more black people at the moment, should I say, dipping and going to Dubai for a better lifestyle. But we're not dipping back to our home countries.
Come on,
you know
now,
what I mean? To be like, this is
that's
where
why I
go
say
to.
it's not the motherland, blood. Because if it was the motherland, we'll be all dipping. We'll be doing functioning differently.
They buy someone's mother
You know
now.
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So yeah, but because the peas are there, bro. Peas are there.
But that's sad though, that if we're putting peas over our identity, our culture, and that's why I said, but how important is our culture now then? Because if people are saying, like, you know, now we're at that age now, which is scary. You are more than me, but you got that generation where, you know, our parents used to be like, I'm gonna go and immigrate back home, man. Yeah. You're not really getting that now. No. And because they're not going back home and they're staying here and they're getting more unwell because of the culture, the cold and all the rest of it, they're filling up more in terms of our elderly homes. Yeah. And then there's less and less people going to see them. Dementia's higher now in our society. Yeah. Diabetes. So there's so much stuff there where they're not going back home, where we're going over to learn about, you know, medicinal stuff like foods off there. I'm not talking about weed, first of all. I can see some of you guys out there. But stuff that we could learn from the land about our blood sugar and bitters and all that kind of stuff. We're not bringing that stuff back home now. We used to get it back in the day, like cocoa, so you make your own hot chocolate, the bitters, which tasted nasty, and tambourine balls, and all the stuff that I used to be like, you don't really see it too tough now because no one's bringing nothing back. Yeah.
Come on. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. That's why it goes, but when he said, my boy Godfrey, these are conversations about media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
before we finish anyway, still, yeah. So, being as, which one do we do? The Marvel one or the Desmond one?
Let's give the Desmond one. I think the Desmond one's a good thing. So those that don't know who Godfrey is.
Introduce it.
So Godfrey is a fellow comedian. I say it like he's Rebecca.
He's Nigerian, man. Cozy.
You said Nigeria's not real. You said it's a TV country.
Okay, cool. But cool. He's actually Igbo, yeah, because he had to leave the country because of the civil. He wanted me to go there. Okay, cool. Right, cool. You don't want me to go there. Igbo, man. He's Igbo.
But yeah, so he's a comedian. He's very funny. But he does talk about how particularly Black British media doesn't represent us that much and doesn't really show much about ourselves, which is quite true, actually. I mean, back in the day, we did have quite a few things.
Yeah.
You know
90s.
Yeah, we had like, and these are things that like the young Gen Zs would never see, like the Real McCoys, the Richard Blackwood show. There were quite a few things, man. We had a few things. Brothers and Sisters, remember that? That was nasty, by the way. You remember that show? Brothers and Sisters. Brothers. And some ancestral business. He was like Game of Thrones, but black.
I think I watched it.
Yeah, man. He was Black People's EastEnders. He was
that the one that's based in Hansa?
Nah, I wasn't based in Handsworth. I don't think so. We only had one day. That was in that was on TV.
No, Brothers and Sisters. We showed that one?
It was, I'm gonna have to, why are you showing this? I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah, cool. Let me show this, yeah? Cool. Wait a second. Yeah, cool. Wait, ready?
Okay, like I was hanging out in Notting Hill.
Yep.
Whew, just being around all the Caribbean from Windrush, Windrush.
Yeah.
Windrush. Sorry, I did a whole little historical thing. Windrush and how all the Caribbeans came. They built England, the Indians, and you barely see any representation on BBC.
So you think that's why?
Yes, that's why they come this way.
No, I'm saying, but like the success though, it's the success that is like.
Well, success
it's no representation.
Tied to that, right? It's tied to that because there's no representation like what you.
Desmond, I used to watch Desmond.
Look at that, 90s.
Desmond was a sitcom of this Caribbean dude who owned a barber shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Funny as hell. It has Caribbean, African people on it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And Desmond is this crazy old dude with pork pie.
Yeah.
Pork pie. And the other British guy who was in Snatch.
Yeah, Robbie
He
G.
plays the smooth dude.
Yeah, this guy, Godfrey, he knows these things.
He knows. Oh, he
this
does.
Man, he knows. He knows.
When it comes to hit, I will dust people off.
Oh no, that's his
So
thing.
I had it I saw it, I don't know, by accident. I said, what is this? I said, what is this? There's black people, it's British. Because, we were used to watching my parents upstairs, downstairs, Masterpiece Theatre, and all the different British Ab Fab, and all that. And I was like, what is this Desmond? So I would watch it on my own. I go, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah.
All these black people, British, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then I found I got a VHS of it.
Yeah.
And then I lost it, and then I found it a few years ago. I found Desmond again. I go, dude, there's this show called Desmond, and I found it again. And I go, how come that represents to me London to me?
Yeah, and that's a show in the 90s. But and there's never been a show like that
ever
really
again.
since. You know what I mean?
Was it massively popular there?
It was huge. It was huge. Yeah. Loads of us grew up with it. There was another sketch show that was a bit like Living in Color. It was called Real McCoy, that had like all the top comedians in it that would like launch people, and they just stopped showing it. And then you couldn't even like find it like in the archives. Like there's a whole thing to it. So I think the answer to your question, like the lack of representation. So I think there's always this fight and this resistance. People are trying to make shows, tell our stories, but it can get a bit gaslighty. It goes around in circles.
Oh my goodness!
It's like the one in and one out. Yeah. So like Michaela Cole, she's amazing.
Michaela, she's chewing gum.
Chewing gum, but there's tons of other women. You know what I mean? Like Black British women. It's harder for Black British women.
They do the same thing to us, one Negro at a time.
154. It's funny you say that actually, because with the one in, one out, like who would you say is in at the minute? I think Mo Gilligan's the one in at the minute, and then the black female that's in at the minute is Judy Love.
To be honest, bro, I don't watch British TV like that anymore, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But you hear about it.
Yeah. I think that Mo Gilligan, what's he up to now? Because he made more drama about a year ago.
Yeah, that's because he's making money, innit? Because ain't no one trying to fight him when he had no money and no teeth. But I think he's the one in, one out. And it's mad because actually when they talked about the real McCoy, the real McCoy is the birth mother, I would say, that's birthed so many comedians out of that.
Yeah.
And actors that we got today, man. Like, some of those comedians in the real McCoy went on to find other comedians who were doing stuff now. So like, I can't remember his name, but one of the comedians there was the one that brought us Slim.
Okay.
Slim's brought us all the big comedians, and through that kind of journey has inspired other comedians like Baba Tundes and your Mo's who are here because they saw them mans do it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Spurred on and grown from there, man.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a guy? There's a brown skin brother that was in there. That I saw him do some jokes, man, from back in the day. They did some of their skits that were back in the day. Because we didn't have like, you know, like you had Eddie Murphy, you had them. You could watch the VHS and watch them coming. But they were doing stuff over here, but we just never had it available like that. Like that. But we had some funny people back them days.
It was a platform for so many. Eugenie Yashares, and our very own from Birmingham, John Smith.
John Smith. Yeah,
man. He went on to be the Green Teletubby. Like, it was platforms like that built on to bring so much kind of like big legends that we've got today, man.
But the thing is, when it came to music in the 90s, we helped popularize and develop music in the 90s and 2000s. We were part of a lot of great stages that I see with the musicians and creatives. Yeah. But we never built anything. Or is it that the system never allowed us to build anything?
The system was never there to allow us to build. Like, if you look at the music stuff that
BBC Asian Network. I remember going to BBC WM because we was doing a gospel. And you go up to the mailbox or when it was at Pip Mill. There was always they had BBC Asia that was
I think they still got it.
Network. Yeah, and they wouldn't get great. So what happened to BBC? Africa.
First of all, they're not going to give it BBC Africa.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, why couldn't we do that?
You know,
because they had to fight. Is that our fault?
That's our fault. And again, our fault because that's BBC.
It's not BBC's fault because BBC set up a space.
BBC fault as well, though. I still think it's a BBC.
But the thing is, if you're able to have BBC Network, Asian Network doing its thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the details about it.
I think the Asian community is a stronger community, particularly in the UK. Yeah, about being vocal about certain things. You know what I mean? And I think there's more representation, even down to government. You know what I mean? That. You get and they give each other their flowers. They cuss each other behind closed doors, but when it comes to represent and to vote, they're there. You know what I mean? We don't really talk about like and I'm not a political person. I get bored of it, but we've got is that she's the deputy mayor for Birmingham, Sharon Thompson.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like how much of us are really pushing to support her? We had other black MPs in locally, and I'm not saying to support them for their political view because they're black, but. If they're not, you've got representation, we don't push it. So when I talk about the BBC not really pushing for us, how much people listen to the BBC WM for their show, for like what they do. Yeah. Nikki Tapper was on there for absolutely years doing amazing stuff for our black community and for people in there. It was well listened to, but it could have been way more listened to. More people could have been listening to it. And I'm not sure what happened in the background. Obviously, Nikki's no longer on there. But I didn't see people putting no petition to say, yo, can we get Nikki back on there? Like, I know Marisha's on there now. She's doing an amazing show. But why can't we have two? Because at one point, you had two great people on there. You had Nikki on there and you had Joel.
Joel Aldred, yeah.
Joel Aldred, man. You had two people on there. Then you went from two different shows to one show to one. So why aren't we pushing to be like, yo, actually, there's not enough representation on our airway. We're paying big money, you know what I mean, to have our TV license and all the rest of that stuff. But we can't have no more representation than what we've got. Anyway, here's the show. Can do this work on my one if I plug this in there?
Yeah.
All right. This is the show.
Let's see if AdWord works, people.
Let's see if this works. I think this is the right one, okay? But this is Brothers and Sisters.
It's not coming up,
It's not coming up. You have to press play.
No. It shouldn't, is it?
It doesn't like it. No.
It doesn't like it, man.
It don't like it?
Yeah. Sorry,
okay,
guys.
Cool. I'll have to put it on there.
Yeah, I'm saying blue.
We can hear. I think we can hear it. Do you remember that sing song? You remember it now, innit? Your childhood came back.
Not my childhood, more like I was a bit older.
So that was Brothers and Sisters on BBC. So they did support. And interestingly enough,
go
on. What's on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? What's the butler's name again now? Jeffrey,
yeah.
Jeffrey was originally in this.
Yeah.
So this is where he kind of built up who he was, his acting stuff, and then went on to Desmond, and then from Desmond went on to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, Jeffrey.
Yeah, so Jeffrey did his circuit here, and then went off, man.
Yeah,
so we had certain bits.
But it's the bits are not there.
Bits are there, man.
The bits are there, man. But you know what I mean. But yeah, bro. I think in the creative market, guys, we just need to be intentional. This season right now, build platforms.
You know what? And I think, we would like to give some kind of friendly advice. We don't want to come in here and feel like we're just dissing everybody and bash people, unless you're Diddy and Kurt Franklin. But I would definitely say I left Kirk alone for how many different shows he had to get one today. He had to get a mention.
Yeah, man.
But I would say, you know what? I would encourage again. Thank you for those that have been, constantly listening to our show and supporting us and supporting the network as well. You know, people like yourselves are precious as diamonds, and we appreciate that. But what I would encourage to say, you know what? If you can support Black products, Black organizations, get involved. And I'm not just saying that to those who are from Black descent and African descent, but if you're white and other nationalities, support their businesses, support their dreams and help that to grow. Help us as well, support this network going forward. Okay, we're not here just to bash, we're here to educate, support, put people on platform. We want to be part of the solution, not the problem. But also as well, this is going to sound really kind of like, you said that. But we just be mindful of the things we say about each other as well, community-wise, because some people need it to hear the truth. The truth shouldn't be negative. Like, if someone sat down with Diddy and said, mate, what you're doing is wrong, sort your life out, we wouldn't have no documentary. Yeah. And I think if people were being honest with like BBCs and we support people to get in those situations and places, then hopefully there'll be people who are decision makers to help more shows represent Black Caribbean descent, African descent, we're all cultural. So if we have the right people in the right places, we get to see more, we get to encourage more, and the division should be less because you've got access. No one's saying we don't want to see TV where we've got more representation of one nationality than the other. What we're saying is we're in a time now we want variety that represents us well enough. So actually, why can't we? Yeah. So anyway, we've come to that time. We've gone over our time, but we've had a good time doing it as well. So
yeah. Most definitely going to. Yeah, man. Cool vibes, bro. Cool vibes, and it's a lot. There's a lot to look at, lot to see out there, guys in the community. And for me, dude, I think we're able to talk it, and I think people just gotta be able to. We see a lot of negative talk, and we talk about freedom of speech, but we need to do it in not a derogative way, and we want to be able to talk as people that's experienced and how people feel, because a lot of people don't think we feel because they don't hear us talk how we feel.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying. So, and that's one thing is that when it hurts, we don't tell nobody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So and when it hurts. People go, oh, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? It hurts, man. You know what I'm saying? So, realizing that, the population gone down to 70%. I was like, what?
Roger Shot says no longer Indigenous people in the UK.
Farage, fair play, mate. You get never.
Soon you're going to be walking out and thinking Wakanda. Anyway, guys.
Most deaf, man. Most deaf, but listen.
Have a blessed day. And remember, there's always so much other shows on the platform. So please support all the other DJs, all the other hosts. And if you got any comments in there, pull it in there, and we stick by what we said. Jaloff is not the thing. Anyway, take care and God bless.
Wakanda forever.
Peace, not Wakanda. West Midlands.
Birmingham forever.
West Midlands forever.
London never.
I never said that.
Blessings, man.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy. See you soon.